Hi, I'm Diego and this is my cooking chem video. First, we put the noodles to boil for 3 minutes. Boiling water uses a process known as conduction, radiation, convection. The fire from the stove starts to heat the pot. This is known as radiation. But the pot spreading heat throughout itself is called conduction. And the water from the bottom of the pot heating up mixes up with the water on top. This is known as convection. Here is a picture to help explain radiation, conduction, and convection. As you can see, the coil heats up and heats up the pot. And for conduction, you could see that the handle is getting hot because it has direct connection with the actual pot. Lastly, for convection, you can see that the water mixes up, going up and down. To heat up the water, we need a fire, and to start a fire, we need heat, oxygen, and fuel. This is known as the fire triangle. Our fuel that we'll be using is the gas from the stove, and oxygen is all around the stove, the air, everywhere. And the ignition will also come from the stove. Once we are done boiling the noodles, I will cut off the gas, which eliminates the fuel, and the fire stops. Here is a picture to help explain the fire triangle. If there's no oxygen, the heat can't continue burning, and without fuel, the oxygen can't keep burning, and without heat, the oxygen or fuel would burn, and it would also need an ignition, but it also just goes with heat. So if any of these were missing, there would be no fire, and that's also how firefighters put out fires, by using this method, by taking out one side of the triangle. The boiling point for water is 212 degrees Fahrenheit and 100 degrees Celsius, meaning we have to get the water to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it reaches that temperature, it'll begin to go through a phase change from liquid to gas. The gas that comes out is known as water vapor, but the exact thing will happen if you do the exact opposite. For example, if water vapor cools down to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, it'll also go through a phase change going from gas to liquid. This is known as the heating curve. This picture represents the water heating curve. B is the melting point, but also the freezing point. And then from B to C is heating up. And C to D is when it hits its boiling point, which is 100 degrees Celsius. This also causes a phase change going from liquid water to water vapor. And you could also follow it backwards to make water vapor to liquid and then to frozen solid ice. Here is where I turn off the fire from the stove by getting rid of the fuel or the gas that the stove produces or lets out. This is a picture of a protein unfolding while boiling noodles. Here I also help it move around the noodles to break them down, so it's not like the block of noodles. Here I grab the pot with oven mitts so I don't burn myself with the hot pot. And now from here, I just add the seasoning packet and mix it well. Here, now that I'm done mixing it around and moving it around to get the flavor all around, I grab a bowl. I pour it inside the bowl carefully because I don't want it to spill and make a mess. And that's how you make noodles.